Greetings, everybody. I am the Starving Martian, and welcome to Thought Bubbles, where I share my thought on a random comic book pulled from my collection. Today we're looking at Godzilla, King of the Monsters, issue number 24, published by Marvel. This is the final issue, excuse me, of the 24-issue series that ran from 1977 to 1979. All right, this is the last issue. If you can only own one issue of this series, own this issue because A, it's got probably the best cover, and B, it's the one where Godzilla fights the Avengers. Now, if you want to own more than one issue of this series, I recommend picking up the collected edition, the Essential Godzilla King of the Monsters. It's got every single issue, 1 through 24. The only downside is that they are in black and white. But for full color and just the hilarious ads we're going to see, I highly recommend picking up some of these original issues if you can find them. They're at I picked this one up a while ago at a comic book shop in like one of their like $5 for $1 bins. So I have no idea what they usually retail for, but let's take a look at Godzilla versus the Avengers. I think you're gonna like this. Okay, so this issue is called "And Lo, a Child Shall Lead Them," because why not? And we have Godzilla in New York. This is the culmination of a storyline that involved him being shrunk and brought to New York City, and then he grows, and now there's trouble. And we immediately see Thor coming in, and the rest of the Avengers, and everyone's assembled. And here we have, okay, probably my biggest problem with the Godzilla series is the fact that his number one adversary is this agent here of S.H.I.E.L.D. named Dum Dum. It's like, really? Godzilla versus Dum Dum? You thought that was a good idea? Now, I know the name Dum Dum refers to a type of ammunition, but still, it just sounds ridiculous. And he looks ridiculous, and Godzilla deserved a more epic foe. But he's got some epic foes in this issue. Here we see Vision, and Iron Man, and Thor, and Ant-Man and Wasp, or I guess Yellow Jacket and Wasp, or whatever he's calling himself at this point in comic history. I lose track. Here comes the Fantastic Four, so everyone's just coming in against Godzilla here. Thor stands alone. Thor's got some emotional issues going on. It's the moment of truth for him. Can he stand up against this monstrous foe? Yon dragon doth remind me of the Midgard serpent, and verily this beast may possess even more fury, if not true evil. You tell him, Thor. So the main issue here, besides Godzilla just being in New York, is that he's going to be coming up to the Empire State Building. I guess we could lose every building except that one. Find out that the Human Torch's Flame On ability is nothing compared to Godzilla's fire-breathing abilities. And not even Mr. Stretchy Pants himself, Mr. Fantastic, can hold him down. We bump into this kid named Ricky, who's, he's been in the comics before. I believe earlier in the series he was actually controlling a giant samurai mech, because who doesn't want to see Godzilla take on a giant samurai mech? But he's got he's got an affection for Godzilla, and he actually says, "Haven't you Americans learned anything yet? You can't attack, or you can't make him calm by attacking him." Which seems kind of hypocritical considering how many times the Japanese attack Godzilla throughout the movies, but whatever. See, this building is just gone, whatever building that was. But it wasn't the Empire State Building, so we're still okay. Oh, hey, look. It's the Pete Ross batting practice. Back when everybody still liked Pete Ross. Don't worry, it gets better. Alright, so so we have Thor here. He uses Mjolnir to make a whirlwind and somehow save the people. Where does that debris go? I don't know. Maybe he puts it out to sea. Actually, that's what he says, isn't it? Hurling it far out to sea. We just don't see it. Iron Man's helping to rescue people from the burning building. J. Jonah's getting cranky because no one can find Parker. Needing some pictures. Stat. And here we have it. Godzilla versus the Empire State Building. Godzilla figures that if King Kong can do it, he could do it better. Here we go. We wear spot built, just like OJ. And who doesn't want to be just like OJ? Spot built apparently is shoes. No, you can't see their shoes. Also, check it out. New Star Wars action figures. Only $2.99 each, plus 50 cents shipping and handling. Oh, and then we have a casual office rape being interrupted here. So go Godzilla, I guess. So, got Godzilla on one side of the Empire State Building, Thor on the other, and they're doing what the book refers to as a reverse tug of war. Each one pushing against the building, one trying to knock it down, one trying to stabilize it. And I don't care who wins. This is the end of the Empire State. But look how cracked this thing is getting. There's no way people are going to be allowed back in that thing. But this is a comic book, so, you know, any ending is a happy ending. But, and here we have a magnificent 2-page spread of all of Marvel's Mightiest just throwing everything they've got against Godzilla. You see Tony Stark unleashing his boom beam. We see the Human Torch throwing fire at him, even though we've established that doesn't work. In fact, everyone's doing things here that we've already established doesn't work, including Mr. Fantastic trying to wrap him up in his stretchy arms. We have the Vision flying through his spike, because that's gonna do something, I guess. Got the Wasp here using her little stingers. That's so cute, Wasp. Yeah, it's pretty ineffective. And they know it's going to be. But it's Godzilla. You have to do something. So they attack with everything they've got. While Captain America tries to sell us the mighty Marvel flying shield. Let's face it, you'll want one. But Ricky here has a plan B. Instead of fighting Godzilla, he's going to reason with him. So he gets out and he gets Godzilla's attention by talking to him. Now, I don't know how Godzilla even hears him. He's got to have a tiny, teeny little voice next to Godzilla's giant ear, but he pleads with him. Godzilla, you've trusted me once before. For the full story of that, you'll have to read issues 1 through 24, but you've trusted me before, Godzilla, and I know that I've let you down. I know that all humans have, and yada yada. But please, Godzilla, trust me now. So Godzilla lifts him up, somehow without crushing him. Oh, and then it's Superman. What are you doing in a Marvel book? Oh, he's selling us kryptonite. See, this is what Marvel wants. They want us to buy kryptonite so we could take down their #1 adversary and competition. Sneaky, sneaky, Marvel. So Godzilla takes little Ricky and off they go. Oh, and Spider-Man pops by to take a picture of Godzilla leaving. In fact, the Essential Godzilla I was showing you before refers to it as one of Spider-Man's most gratuitous guest shots ever. And you can't really argue that. He's here literally to say, oh, and Spider-Man's in the issue. So he takes a picture of Godzilla leaving. That's all Spider-Man contributes. Although I figure his spider webs probably wouldn't have done much either. Oh, and then we have an ad featuring Thing and the Ultimate Weapon. They start to fight and then realize they both enjoy Hostess fruit pies. They make everything better. You know, why didn't they try giving Godzilla Hostess fruit pies? I don't know. So Godzilla goes out to sea. Ricky says that he's gone for good. They'll never see him again. And that's the end of that. Now, is Godzilla gone for good? The answer is yes and no. Toho charged Marvel money, obviously, to use the Godzilla character. That's why in the entire issue, or the entire run, rather, Godzilla is the only Toho character you'll find. There's no Rodan, there's no Mothra, there's no Ghidorah, nothing like that. No King Caesar, no Anguirus. And the reason for that is because if Marvel wanted to use those characters, they would have had to pay for them as well. So they make up their own giant monsters and things like that. Eventually, they decide they want to reuse the Godzilla character, but they no longer have the rights to do so. So they bring him back as a giant mutated beast with big fins on his back. He looks very, very different than any Godzilla you've ever seen. And they never refer to him as Godzilla, but they refer to other characters and incidences that occur during the Godzilla series. So you know it's the same character, but technically they could get away with it. Oh, here's Godzilla fighting the giant samurai. Alright, so that was Godzilla versus the Avengers. Like I said, it's a fun series. It's got its issues, it's got its problems. S.H.I.E.L.D. seems highly inefficient. They just spend all 24 issues following this guy around and doing absolutely nothing. Again, like I said, if you want the full story, I recommend picking up the Essential Godzilla. Besides being in black and white, which, I mean, the first two Godzilla movies were in black and white, you get all the issues. You get my favorite issue, by the way, is this one here where Godzilla gets shrunken and battles the sewer rat. It's played straight, like the sewer rat is a major threat, like the next giant monster he has to fight, and it's just really cool. Anywho, but you get all that, and I do recommend tracking this thing down. It cost me $25, brand new when it first came out. I don't know what it is on an Amazon or eBay currently, but it is quite fun. About halfway through the book, Godzilla fights the West Coast Avengers, which are like the regular Avengers except lame. So if you ever want to see Godzilla take on like Hercules, that's the issue for you. But I think most of us would prefer Thor and Iron Man. So guys, this has been Godzilla, King of the Monsters versus the Avengers in issue 24, 1979. Back when comics only cost 40 cents a piece. Hope you enjoyed. This has been the Starving Martian. We will catch you next time. Until then, as always, keep watching the skies.